look at good safeguarding, you need to figure out what safeguarding is.
Well, safeguarding is really all about human rights. And what human rights from the safeguarding perspective means the right to be treated with fairness, with respect, and a right to participate and make your own decisions.
Everybody has a right to make their own choices, to be autonomous in their decisions in relation to their own life. And that's regardless of what setting they're in, whether they live at home, whether they live in a residential centre or where they live. People have rights to choices and autonomy regardless of their abilities or disabilities. And those rights and choices have to be respected, regardless of the situation the person is in.
It's also underpinned by the Constitution, by some of our laws, equality legislation, the European Convention of Human Rights Act of 2003, our Assisted Decision-Making Capacity Act, and indeed international human rights treaties such as the UN Declaration on Human Rights and indeed the most recent UN Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities.
I don't think that safeguarding applies just to people with disabilities. I think that while it's important to keep people safe, it's a very thin line between keeping somebody safe and controlling them. People with disabilities can actually have choices, should have choices, and should be treated like anybody else.
Safeguarding is about disabled people being included in their communities and not excluded, as often happens when we are included. National safeguarding happens.
And we tend, when we see a person with disability, to not treat them or not to respect their individual rights, their individual right to make their decisions, their individual choices of what they do, sports they can participate in or not participate in, activities, and managing their own money, really important.
People in residential services, safeguarding is a big thing to make sure that they're safe. But you got to make sure that those people are living the life that they want to as well.
We need to be supported to speak up for ourselves, and we know who to talk to when things are not right. When we can speak up, this allows us to protect ourselves.
I think that good safeguarding in a residential setting, for example, for people with intellectual disabilities, I think that is more to do with staff training. Also, it's to train the staff to listen to the preference of the person with the disability and to try as far as possible to accommodate that.
In some cases, a person with a disability may need support and help. So it's really important that we ascertain what support and help they need in order to make their own decision. They have a right to make their own decision and should be fully supported to make those decisions about things that matter in their own lives and about their lives in general.
Some people with disabilities can be at a higher risk of abuse and neglect because of their disability. And in that instance, it's very important that people's rights and independence and choices are safeguarded, regardless of their disability, to ensure that they can live a life free of abuse and harm.
When we make decisions, our decisions need to be respected. Disabled people are well able to make their own decisions. It is support we need and not pity.